Good evening, I'm Alex, and welcome to America Headlines. Tonight, we bring you breaking developments in a case that's shaking Washington to its core. 3 former FBI officials have filed a bombshell federal lawsuit against Attorney General Pam Bondi and FBI Director Kash Patel, alleging they were fired in direct retaliation for investigating former President Donald Trump. This story isn't just about 3 men losing their jobs. It is about the integrity of America as justice system, the independence of federal law enforcement, and whether political influence has reached the very heart of the FBI. Let's break this down. The lawsuit, filed in federal court in Washington, D.C., comes from 3 seasoned FBI officials. Brian Driscoll, former acting FBI director. Stephen Jensen, a career special agent. Spencer Evans, who oversaw operations in the Las Vegas field office. According to the complaint, all 3 men were abruptly removed from their posts after years of service. Their claim? That they were targeted because of their work on investigations connected to Donald Trump. Investigations that touched on classified documents, the January 6th attack, and possible obstruction of justice. Now here's where it gets explosive. The lawsuit alleges that FBI Director Kash Patel personally told Driscoll that the firings could not be stopped. Patel allegedly admitted, quote, "The FBI tried to put the president in jail, and he hasn't forgotten it." Even more shocking, the suit claims Patel said his own job security depended on firing these officials, suggesting that top leaders at the Justice Department and even the White House had ordered the purge. If true, this could represent one of the most blatant examples of political retaliation in the modern history of federal law enforcement. To understand the weight of these allegations, let's look at the 2 key figures named in the suit. Kash Patel is no stranger to controversy. A former Trump aide and national security official, Patel has been one of Trump's most loyal defenders. His appointment as FBI director raised eyebrows across Washington, given his close ties to Trump and his outspoken criticism of previous FBI leadership. During his confirmation hearings, Patel promised lawmakers there would be no politicization of the FBI under his watch. Yet, this lawsuit claims the exact opposite, that Patel made political loyalty the price of survival within the Bureau. Pam Bondi, meanwhile, is a longtime Trump ally and former Florida Attorney General. As the current U.S. Attorney General, she's accused in the lawsuit of overseeing or at least approving the purge of FBI officials. Her silence on the matter so far has only fueled speculation. At the core of the lawsuit is the claim of unlawful retaliation. Federal law protects government employees from being fired for political reasons, particularly if their work involves investigating public officials. The plaintiffs argue their terminations violated their constitutional rights and federal whistleblower protections. They're asking for reinstatement, back pay, damages, and, perhaps most importantly, judicial acknowledgement that their firings were politically motivated. If the court agrees, this could send shockwaves through the Justice Department and force a reckoning over how much political power can be exercised over supposedly independent law enforcement agencies. To put this lawsuit in perspective, we have to remember the long and troubled relationship between Donald Trump and the FBI. In 2017, Trump fired FBI Director James Comey, sparking outrage and leading to the appointment of special counsel Robert Mueller. Throughout his presidency, Trump repeatedly called the Russia investigation a witch hunt and accused FBI officials of conspiring against him. Multiple agents who worked on those cases were attacked publicly, some reassigned, and others left the Bureau under intense scrutiny. This lawsuit suggests those battles never truly ended. Even out of office, Trump's influence may still be shaping decisions at the highest levels of federal law enforcement. The complaint goes into striking detail. According to court filings, Patel allegedly told Driscoll that top Justice Department leaders wanted specific names removed. He made it clear that failing to comply would cost him his own position. In other words, this wasn't just about policy disagreements or personnel shuffles. This was about raw political loyalty, a demand to purge anyone seen as disloyal to Trump. The plaintiffs argued this effectively turned the FBI into a political weapon, undermining its mission to protect the American people without fear or favor. Reactions have been swift and divided. Democratic lawmakers have called the lawsuit a chilling reminder of why federal law enforcement must remain independent. Senator Elizabeth Warren said in a statement, "If proven true, this is not just corruption. It is an abuse of power that threatens the rule of law itself." Republicans, meanwhile, are more cautious. Some dismiss the lawsuit as an attempt to score political points, while others argue the FBI itself has been politically biased for years. Legal experts are weighing in too. Former federal prosecutor Andrew Weissman said, "If these allegations are true, it's an open and shut case of unconstitutional retaliation." The question is whether the courts will have the courage to enforce accountability. Why does this matter so much? Because the FBI is supposed to be above politics. It investigates everyone, from local criminals to the President of the United States. If its leadership can be pressured into firing agents for political reasons, the very foundation of American law enforcement is at risk. Imagine an FBI that investigates only the enemies of those in power while protecting their allies. That's not a democracy. That's something closer to authoritarian rule. This lawsuit is about more than 3 careers. It's about whether the United States can maintain an independent system of justice. We've seen echoes of this before. In the 1970s, President Nixon tried to use the Justice Department to shut down the Watergate investigation. That led to the famous Saturday Night Massacre, when top justice officials resigned rather than carry out unlawful orders. In the 2000s, the Bush administration faced criticism for allegedly firing U.S. attorneys for political reasons. But rarely have we seen such direct claims that the FBI itself was purged on orders tied to one individual, especially a former president. On social media, the lawsuit has exploded. Hashtags like NeuroFBI Purge and Ear Justice Under Fire are trending nationwide. Americans are debating whether this is proof of Trump's lingering influence or whether it's yet another partisan battle being fought in the courts. News outlets are treating the story as one of the biggest legal challenges to the Trump-aligned Justice Department since Patel and Bondi took office. Editorials across the country are warning of a constitutional crisis if the allegations prove true. So what comes next? The lawsuit will now move into the pre-trial phase, where the Justice Department will have to respond. Expect motions to dismiss, counter-arguments, and possibly congressional hearings if lawmakers decide to investigate. If the case proceeds, Patel and Bondi may be called to testify under oath, a moment that could define their careers and reshape public perception of the FBI. The plaintiffs, meanwhile, are seeking not just personal justice, but a broader statement that no one, not even the President of the United States, can use political power to silence investigators. This case is far from over. But one thing is clear. America is once again confronting the question of whether its justice system can withstand political pressure. For the 3 former FBI officials at the center of this fight, the lawsuit is about reclaiming their reputations. For the nation, it's about preserving the rule of law. Before we sign off, if you found this coverage informative, make sure to subscribe to our channel for the latest updates. Don't forget to like this video and share it with friends so more people can stay informed. And of course, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and join the conversation. I'm Alex. This has been America Headlines. Good night and stay informed.